out to get rid of your aggression.
Yeah, I'm full of aggression after I met you. Television crew, National Geographic television department. Okay, I'm ready. My name is Tomasz Tomaszewski, but you can call me Tomek. I am a photographer, and I have always tried to document reality. For the last 15 years, I have been working for the National Geographic magazine on a number of assignments. This film is about my life and my work on one of these assignments, the Gypsy story. When Agnieszka, the filmmaker, approached me, I had no idea what impact it would have on my life and my perception of my own work. So, in a way, this is also a diary of the making of this film.
Chodźmy stąd, bo złamie się drzewo i spadnie na samochód.
This is going to be one of our aborted interviews, I'm afraid, I think.
I am Polish and I come from Warsaw, the capital of Poland. I have lived here all my life and I love it. My home is very important to me and I am very lucky to be able to call this wonderful house just outside Warsaw my home. I live here with my wife Małgorzata, my daughter Maryna and our 4 dogs. But now it's time to hit the road.
What's the most important thing in life then?
Definitely love.
Love.
Sure.
What kind of love?
The true, I think. Passionate. Real.
Well, I mean, a sort of love between a man and a woman.
I think so. Because of your questions, I think I took the wrong exit.
Uh-oh. Sorry.
Can you think of one photograph that you've taken over the years which does capture a relationship?
There's one photograph which is very simple. I shot several years ago and I still feel that there is a power in this photograph. It's a simple portrait of old couple. But what's really charming about this situation is that this old woman is keeping her head on the shoulder of the man. They are coupled, they are together, and you feel that there is love still in between them. Our journey begins in the south of Poland. We meet a band of professional female gypsy singers. It's led by Teresa, a woman composer. That is in fact quite unusual for the gypsy community, in which men play and sing, and women cook and bear children. We photographed gypsy children playing football and the gypsy men drinking vodka. But I was still looking for something else. Then, one of my contacts, who asked not to be filmed, told us of an old gypsy woman called Jaga, who apparently lived on her own with her granddaughter in a picturesque setting. And so here we are, looking for her.
Dzień dobry. Przepraszam serdecznie, którędy do Jagi? Na dół. Dziękuję. Are you at least paid well to do this crazy thing?
Not well enough, sorry.
If I did not have a camera on my chest, I wouldn't take this road. In our profession, it's not only the camera, but many times it's the shoes. They really bring the picture from the field.
The Roma people, gypsies, can be mistrustful. Getting access can be really tough.
Idziemy. Jutro. Przyjdziemy jutro. Jak pani ma na imię? Monika.
Nie ma matki, ojca, matki, nie mam nikogo. Jeden Bóg będzie wiedział.
No ale ma pani tutaj jakichś ludzi dobrych może wokół siebie?
A nie, to jest Liczka.
Tak. No.
Już nie wtedy, ona już nic nie rozumie.
What's interesting in this situation is the relationship between that old woman, her married granddaughter, and her many children, all living in one little room. Jaga was a little senile. I heard fragments of quite obscene language in which she tried to describe her alarm at hearing the young couple making love at night.
A nie to, żebyście nie pisali.
O Jezu, zostaw, nic ci nie zrobił.
Idź się pierdol, bo cię kopnę.
Weź ją, Mary, do domu, bo...
Nie, trzeba być delikatnym, bo przecież...
A nie mnie.
We stop over in the historic city of Krakow, in the south of Poland. No time for a break, I am afraid. I'm just looking at some photographs I shot in America. This is a street in San Francisco, the city I really like.
On your notes.
On my notes, yes.
Can you explain to me again, why are you looking through these photographs when we're in Krakow and you're trying to do a gypsy
Well,
story?
I'm waiting for a phone call from the research department, from National Geographic, and I will be asked many questions concerning my pictures, and I have to provide a person who is responsible for checking all the facts with names, addresses, street names, phone numbers, etc., etc., which is quite difficult if you think about how many rolls a photographer shoots in the field, and this is more or less like 1,000 rolls, which is 36,000 pictures. Well, I am never ready, I'm afraid, but let's try. This picture was shot really in maybe, 10 minutes. I just stopped the car, saw this mural, and that's about it. This is about tradition, heritage. If you look at this mural, it's pretty much the history of the state. So that's quite charming. In Krakow, I tried to photograph a gypsy musician whom I've observed for 20 years. He's blind and has lost one leg to gangrene. For me, Stefan embodies the essence of gypsy romance. Lovely sentimental music, songs about love and passion, but then the reality of his life is so sad. Stefan lives in a communist concrete jungle, in a 2-bedroom flat which he shares with 9 other people. At first I thought they were his family, but they are not in fact. He brings home the money, they look after him. Nobody talks about love or affection. This is what modern life is like, I guess.
Całe życie się chować samemu to jest ciężko.
Mówi pani o sobie?
O sobie mówię.
A co z rodzicami się stało?
Niemcy zabili.
Zginęli?
No. Tak to.
Ile pani miała lat wtedy?
4?
Ale co, trafili do obozu?
No, Święcimski leży.
A jak pani się uratowała?
Nie wzięli ludzi. Dali mi do domu dziecka za chwilę.
Well, Tomasz, tell me about the communists.
Well, I may cause us an accident because this is something that really bothers me at all. I didn't like the system at all. I mean, like, I hated it.
My wife Małgorzata and myself had always fought against the totalitarian regime. In the 80s, we worked on a book about Polish Jews together. She wrote the story, and I took pictures. We then had an exhibition in Warsaw, which was quite a subversive event, as the communist government had always treated Jewish culture as a taboo. Małgorzata and I work on many other projects together, and I loved it. She was older than me, and I fell in love with her, head over heels. I simply couldn't believe my luck when she agreed to marry me. That was almost 23 years ago. Małgorzata is an incredible woman, beautiful, clever, a good writer. You see her here with my daughter Marina some 15 years ago. This stunner became the Minister of Information and the government spokesperson in the first non-communist government of 1989. First of all, we were changing the system, so the press was extremely interested in all those topics about Poland. And then there was her as a spokeswoman. First of all, a woman, which was quite unusual. Yeah, I mean, her face was really printed all over the world, you know.
Must have been very difficult.
Well, in which way you think?
Well, you know which way I think. To be married to somebody so basically involved in changing the world.
Well, I was extremely proud. Why should it be difficult? It was difficult for a different reason, you know. I just, discovered that, I am alone with many things we used to share between each other. You know, the family life just disappeared. But other than that, I was feeling extremely proud.
To describe it in picturesque way, we were in the underground, and then the lift came and took us from this very, very basement just to the, I could say, at the just top of the Empire State Building, like, and then in one moment, really, which was, maybe 1 month, is nothing in history, and even in people's life, we, from this basement, from the underground, we became the leaders of the nation, of course, with the whole responsibility for the country.
Not a politician anymore, Małgorzata is still very much a public figure. She also runs her own PR agency.
Zadzwonimy tam. A gdzie ty jesteś w tej chwili?
Okay, Małgorzata, who do you think is in charge in your marriage?
I wouldn't say in charge, I think clever woman knows how to lead her man. This doesn't mean to be in charge.
You should look at success through those things you had to give up on the way.
Like what?
Freedom, probably love.
Why love?
Well, if you run like crazy, you don't care that much, I would say.
I am taking you to the south of France now, Lourdes. I will be working in 11 countries around the world on this assignment. I am allowed approximately 1 week per country. A lot of time, you may think, but somehow it never feels quite enough. I do a lot of research before I set off on my travels. And so, it will take me more than a year to complete the gypsy story. This pilgrimage happens every year here at the end of the summer, and is a festival for the French Catholic gypsies. People come to Lourdes hoping for a miracle.
Do you believe in God?
Yes, I do.
So will you be praying tomorrow?
Well, I'm kind of silently praying, every day. It's rather going inside of you.
But the religious images were not the highlight of my trip to Lourdes. This really is a fantastic place. People are creative, open, and beautiful. We make friends with a particular couple, Francois and Christine. Francois is a professional musician of sorts. He plays and sings in restaurants in the evening. Not always, it seems, to his wife's delight.
My wife there is very jealous because I sing and women look at me.
You mustn't go out and play tonight. You must stay at home with the kids.
Un petit foie gras?
Ah, pourquoi pas, merci bien.
Du foie gras? Du pain frais?
The next day, we meet up with our new friends and follow them to another campsite. This is what travelers do.
En me regardant souffrir ces instants difficiles, que je ne sais plus quoi dire, qu'il faut simplement partir. Tu oublieras les sourires, des regards, des paris d'éternité. Par ses yeux sans flot, lui fera l'amour. Tu oublieras,
Yes,
Prends-moi le beurre.
I'm doing this first time in my life. I know what you think, but I must tell you that at the time it all made perfect and clear sense to me. And I felt Clotilda knew things about me that nobody else knows. I have no rational explanation for this irrational behavior.
Il y a eu quelque chose en arrière. Là maintenant,
Something happened in the past. Right now, there's still something going on. And later in the future, well, that problem will continue a little bit.
Clotilde, I am bull. I am Taurus. I feel strong. When I was young, I felt that I was very powerful, so I could change things.
But you're at a strong point in your life and you can change things.
I was clearly not the only one feeling that strange things were going on. Christine began telling us about her problems.
Une femme, il faut beaucoup la chérir, une femme.
You've got to cherish a woman. A woman isn't just anybody. A woman from time to time wants to go out. I haven't been out dancing for a long time.
But Christine,
I like to have a laugh, to sing, to have fun. He likes to have fun, but he's calm. Me? No. I've got plenty of energy.
But did they try to have fun together?
But we have the kids to take care of. A woman can't always do what she wants.
I think that they are in a way similar. They both full of energy. They both creative. She has this thing in her blood. You can feel it, But he plays beautifully. He sings. So it's a perfect combination.
She'd like to be happier than she is. Yes, happier than I am with him.
Moi, je suis un homme très large.
I'm a very generous man. She has her freedom. She can do what she wants. She can take the car. She can go wherever she likes. I say nothing.
François, you both great people. You can't, break this. You have to work it out.
Do you think our visit has changed your lives in any way?
Yes, perhaps. Because it's something new. And it's not often that people come to visit us like this at home.
It makes us proud a little when people visit us like this, because we are in show business and you too are in show business in a way. So we understand each other.
We like to see strangers who take an interest in us, so that we can communicate with you, so that we can talk to you about our life.
Maybe there was no try, maybe it's good to try, because he's ready to love her, really,
But you want to know
if she tried to win him and have him be on her side, support her.
There's another one?
Okay.
Sometimes that your pictures, your photographs can change people's lives?
Well, when I finished a story about El Salvador, which was one of my most important stories, and there is this opening photograph of a man being carried on his wife's shoulders. He's handicapped, he has no legs, he lost them stepping on a landmine. He was very strong, and instead of giving up everything, he decided to keep working as a fisherman, no legs. And his wife was bringing him back home every day, actually twice a day. And when the photograph was published, a very wealthy person from the United States was quite moved by this photograph and contacted the magazine and offered to buy him a wheelchair. He got this letter and he got the message and he said, well, do I have a choice? Can I choose between a wheelchair and something else? I would actually prefer a tiny little engine for my boat. He got the engine. And this picture, in fact, changed the life of this entire village. Very strong relationship, love. You know, the beginning it's like really like a festival. Then, when people somehow get used to each other, you simply should take care of love and relation. This very intimate relation with another person, like taking care of, you know, of a plant, of a flower. If you don't water a flower, it will, you know, die.
You know, your wife said that she thinks the most important thing in a long-term relationship is space.
Space.
The trip we took was in fact another pilgrimage in the south of Poland again, in Limanova. Actually, you know, let's not go to Limanova next. I don't think I can bear another religious experience just yet. No, this is a film, not reality. We can re-edit it the way we want. So let's go to India instead. Let's have a bit of an exotic adventure for a change. Well, here we are. India it is. One of the oldest civilizations in the world. The mysterious monuments, mystical countryside, the endless treasures. I personally never saw any of these monuments. Agnieszka clearly has, as she shot the images so you can see them. But me, no. Remember, I am on an assignment for the National Geographic magazine about the Gypsies. My mission here is to document the lives of two tribes, Banjara and Lohar. Some academics believe that they are in fact the original Roma people and that these tribes left India some hundreds of years ago and started wandering around the world. Meet Babu, my driver, and Ola, the guide and translator. Yes, we are in the car again. This is very nice. Taking pictures here is a curious challenge. This is the situation we will be facing all the time. You know, look at this. There's no way you can really work here. You have to stay with them probably a week to make them kind of come and accept your presence. You stay? No, you stay. Still, spirits are high. The following day, we go to a camel's fair and meet some Banjara people. I get quite excited.
Pretty faces, beautiful costumes. What it has to do with ordinary lives, I don't know, but at least I have some good portraits. This is a survival kit for the country like India. Every time you have lunch or dinner, then you go to the car and you have a little bit of antiseptic. But the most important thing is that this is not charged to the story budget.
No, because I bought it.
Right. We seem to be on a desperate quest for the elusive gypsies. But somehow we find all kinds of other interesting things on the way.
What's going on here?
This is a very simple story. We are going into a temple full of rats. Moscow. I think I like this place.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's quite amazing.
Yeah, I don't like that.
No? I like rats.
I find it difficult, actually.
We are still determined to get our pictures. We have information that there is a Lohar tribe nearby. We decide to get up at 4 a.m. to find the location in good time. Lohar people are wandering metal workers, and I am very keen to see them work. Maybe good pictures will be possible at last.
What's going on?
We are discussing a touchy subject, which is money.
And what were you saying?
Well, I'm saying that if you come to a community like this, where the income is $1 a month, people expect you to leave some money for them. You never actually pay for the picture, but there is no way to avoid leaving somebody at the very end, because nobody will accept you around. We left them 6 families, equivalent of what, $3. Just enjoy yourself that somebody else is doing this for you. You can just stay in the shadow and take your motion pictures without dealing with this problem. So just don't say anything to me. Enjoy yourself.
I haven't said a word.
Okay.
It's your conscience must be talking to you. I said nothing.
Gypsy assignment remained as tough as ever. We never really got close to anybody the way we did in Poland or France. How do you call this thing?
Well, a shower cap.
A shower cap, yeah, just collect them, even you don't need them for shower, but you need them to protect your camera. This is the best thing to protect your camera from the dust. Namaste.
आपने किया मेरे को समझ पड़ गई ऐसा है कि हाँ वो नायक है ने आज एक मौत होगी.
Somebody died and I feel excited. I might be able to get pictures of an interesting ritual. Perhaps I ought to be more moved than I am. But after almost 2 weeks of frustrations, broken equipment and no pictures, all I can think about is that I might be able to get something at last. It was the wife of a senior member of the tribe who had an unexpected accident and died at work a couple of days previously. By the time we arrived, her body had already been burning for a day. We are at the river temple near Udaipur in Rajasthan. The temple is not marked on the map.
Well, this is the place the Banjara people will come and shave their heads. Right now there is... and throw the ashes into the water.
The ceremony of throwing the ashes onto the river is part of the Hindu tradition. The bereft villages scatter the ashes. We witness a strange ceremony in which the male members of the woman's extended family were washed in the river, their hair shaven off as a symbolic gesture of faith in the power of renewal. There was an uncomfortable quality about the ceremony. We had masses of confused thoughts and emotions. Will the children survive, having had a bath in this diseased river? Who will take care of them now that their mother was dead? And mostly, looking at the woman's widower, I wondered whether in the end the state of being in love was worth all the risks it involved. We had always planned to have the image of the Taj Mahal, the temple of love that has lasted for centuries, as the concluding image of this trip. But perhaps the true picture of this symbolic monument is this shot, showing the temple's real unkempt face, with rubbish dumped all around it and poor people scavenging for food nearby. My ideas about romantic love are no doubt tainted by my early experiences. I was an only child, and my parents divorced when I was 15. My father left. I was devastated. He fell out of love with my mother, I guess. How does it feel to be on your own?
So were you close to your mother?
Well, I'm afraid I don't really want to talk about this. I can't tell you everything, so I won't tell you much. I mean, I don't want to tell you this, all right. Let's talk about happiness first. What do you mean by happiness?
Are you asking me?
Yeah. Whom else?
Okay. I think happiness is a feeling when you get up every morning that you're looking forward to the day which stretches itself ahead of you and you're excited and safe and loved.
It's quite nice. So, my mornings are from time to time different, really. I'm troubled, somehow. But it's not damaging feeling. I am not dark, I am not depressed.
which may create a feeling that I am unhappy, but this is a wrong feeling, really. I am slow when I am home, I'm not really in a blossom because I am coming back from, a hard work. This stuff I am doing, it's really a permanent fight.
Limanova, at last. This time we have the full crew with us. No expense spared on this production.
I hope to get this big picture, of the 1,000 people marching to Limanova with some Polish landscape. I hope also to get a photograph that shows the relation between, Polish people and Polish gypsies.
By now, I am used to Agnieszka, and she is part of the team, rushing about like a fellow photographer, which of course she is. I kind of forget momentarily that I am her main interest, not the gypsies. The film crew photograph her, filming me photographing gypsies. And then all the material is edited for 2 months, and this is the film you see. I have spent all my life trying to get close to reality, and the more you think about it, the more impossible it is. The gypsy pilgrims walk for about 2 hours to the Catholic church in Limanova, where a lot of religious rituals will be performed.
We are not interested in pictures, they are not bad. We are interested in pictures, they are perfect. Yes. We should really use our energy, in a kind of conscious way. It's a long day in front of us.
I'd be okay.
When I was younger, I carried a lot of equipment about. Now, I think the smaller and less obtrusive the camera, the better. This is a moment which makes me question institutionalized religion.
Well, that's running. Honestly, you shouldn't be smoking.
It's good to have a smoke between your body and the reality and the rest of the world, sometimes.
Ducha Świętego, Bóg przez wszystkie wieki wieków. Amen. Co jeszcze to znaczy, że bierzemy z czystym sercem, dlatego można się oczyścić z grzechów konfesjonalnych.
Żono, przyjmij tę obrączkę.
Mężu,
przyjmij
tę obrączkę.
Jako znak mojej miłości.
I wierności. W imię Ojca. Trójcy jedyny. I wszyscy święci. Ja, Teresa.
One of the couples has been married for years and is now making it right in the eyes of the church. In the evening, there is more music and more fun in the nearby square. as always, we find the information we are after. There is a wedding reception later on involving two of the couples we already filmed at the church. We somehow get an invite, film crew at all. A new adventure unfolds. The older couple are the parents of the groom who is marrying a Polish girl. A mixed marriage like this is still a rare thing among gypsies anywhere, as their code of behavior is very strict. A non-gypsy is considered unclean and therefore not worthy of entering the gypsy community. The bride and her family, no doubt, have had to endure quite a lot of prejudice from both sides. But here they are, married. Evidently, love overcomes all obstacles. As proof of her commitment, the bride sings a gypsy song. The first part is sung in the Romany language. I have no idea what it is all about. In fact, when the girl sings it in Polish, I don't understand it either, but somehow I like it all the same.
Czy to słońce, czy to pada deszcz? Czy to słońce, czy to pada deszcz? Nim przyjdzie noc.
How does it feel? That's a good title for this whole thing you are doing, maybe. How does it feel? It feels different, I think. I am different. Hopefully better.
Part of this project, Tomek is supposed to take some photographs of himself and then eventually choose one, and that's his self-portrait. What would you suggest, Małgorzata?
I would put him in his study with at least one of the dogs, because he is very attached to our dogs, with his wife and daughter standing behind him. It will show his life.
I've had a few goes at the self-portrait idea. I am supposed to come up with an image which sums me up. In the end, I've decided to go for something elaborate and unreal. I thought it was kind of ironic to do something so set up when I would normally not orchestrate anything at all.
Co chcesz, żeby było? Co chcesz, żeby było? Teraz wyjdziesz. To Tomek, ładuj. O, teraz jest, zaczekaj. Teraz jest fajne. Zaczekaj, takie refleksyjne ujęcie.
In the end, I have decided to settle on this picture as my self-portrait, which has both Agnieszka and the cameraman in shot. A comment, if you like, on the impossible task of capturing reality, or just a souvenir of this assignment, the self-portrait.
Into the sunset, Tomasz!
Professional female gypsy singers. It's led by Teresa, a woman composer. That is in fact quite unusual for the gypsy community, in which men play and sing, and women cook and bear children. We photograph gypsy children playing football and the gypsy men drinking vodka. But I was still looking for something else. Then, one of my contacts, who asked not to be filmed, told us of an old gypsy woman called Jaga, who apparently lived on her own with her granddaughter in a picturesque setting. And so here we are, looking for her.
Dzień dobry. Przepraszam serdecznie, którędy do Jagi? Na dół. Dziękuję. Are you at least paid well to do this crazy thing?
Not well enough, sorry.
If I did not have a camera on my chest, I wouldn't take this road. In our profession, it's not only the camera, but many times it's the shoes. They really bring the picture from the field.
The Roma people, gypsies, can be mistrustful. Getting access can be really tough.
Idziemy. Jutro. Przyjdziemy jutro. Jak pani ma na imię? Monika.
Nie ma matki, ojca, matki, nie mam nikogo. Jeden Bóg będzie wiedział.
No, ale ma pani tutaj... This is more or less like 1,000 rolls, which is 36,000 pictures.
Well, I am never ready, I'm afraid, but let's try. This picture was shot really in maybe, 10 minutes. I just stopped the car, saw this mural, and that's about it. This is about tradition, heritage. If you look at this mural, it's pretty much the history of the state. So that's quite charming.
In Krakow, I tried to photograph a gypsy musician whom I've observed for 20 years. He's blind and has lost one leg to gangrene. For me, Stefan embodies the essence of gypsy romance. Lovely sentimental music, songs about love and passion, but then the reality of his life is so sad. Stefan lives in a communist concrete jungle, in a 2-bedroom flat which he shares with 9 other people. At first I thought they were his family, but they are not, in fact. He brings home the money, they look after him. Nobody talks about love or affection. This is what modern life is like, I guess. And I am very lucky to be able to call this wonderful house just outside Warsaw my home. I live here with my wife Małgorzata, my daughter Maryna, and our 4 dogs. But now it's time to hit the road.
What's the most important thing in life then?
Definitely love.
Love?
Sure.
What kind of love?
The true, I think. Passionate. Real.
What, you mean a sort of love between a man and a woman?
I think so. Because of your questions, I think I took the wrong exit.
Uh-oh. Sorry. Can you think of one photograph that you've taken over the years which does capture a relationship?
There's one photograph which is very simple. I shot several years ago, and I still feel that there is a power in this photograph. It's a simple portrait of old couple. But what's really charming about this situation is that this old woman is keeping her head on the shoulder of the man. They are coupled, they are together, and you feel that there is love still in between them. Our journey begins in the south of Poland. We meet
Jakichś ludzi dobrych może wokół siebie.
A nie, to jest Liczka.
Tak.
Liczka.
No.
Już nie wtedy, ona nic nie rozumie.
What's interesting in this situation is the relationship between that old woman, her married granddaughter, and her many children, all living in one little room. Jaga was a little senile. I've heard fragments of quite obscene language in which she tried to describe her alarm at hearing the young couple making love at night.
Przepraszam, wyjdę.
A nie to, żebyście nie pisali.
O Jezu, zostaw, nic ci nie zrobią! Idę się popier...
Bo cię kopnę.
Weź ją, Mary, do domu, bo...
Nie prowokuj. Nie, trzeba być delikatnym, bo przecież...
A nie mnie.
We stop over in the historic city of Krakow, in the south of Poland. No time for a break, I am afraid. I'm just looking at some photographs I shot in America. This is a street in San Francisco, the city I really like.
On your notes?
On my notes, yes.
Can you explain to me again, why are you looking through these photographs when we're in Krakow and you're trying to do a gypsy
Well,
story?
I'm waiting for a phone call from the research department, from National Geographic, and I will be asked many questions concerning my pictures, and I have to provide a person who is responsible for checking all the facts with names, addresses, street names, phone numbers, etc., etc., which is quite difficult if you think about how many roles a photographer shoots in the field and the
out to get rid of the aggression.
Yeah. I'm full of aggression after I met you. Television crew. National Geographic television department. Okay, I'm ready. My name is Tomasz Tomaszewski, but you can call me Tomek. I am a photographer, and I have always tried to document reality. For the last 15 years, I have been working for the National Geographic magazine on a number of assignments. This film is about my life and my work on one of these assignments, the Gypsy story. When Agnieszka, the filmmaker, approached me, I had no idea what impact it would have on my life and my perception of my own work. So, in a way, this is also a diary of the making of this film. Chodźmy stąd, bo złamie się drzewo i spadnie na samochód.
This is going to be one of our aborted interviews, I'm afraid, I think.
I am Polish and I come from Warsaw, the capital of Poland. I have lived here all my life and I love it. My home is very important to me.